Hello there guys and welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome to another video. I hope you guys are doing well tonight. As you can see today, it may be cloudy where I am, but it doesn't stop me from doing my Premier predictions this week. So today is Friday, woohoo! So it's time for me to predict this week's game week 4 Premier League predictions. And then after that, I'm going to do a short match preview to the Chelsea versus Leicester game, give you guys my predictions, and then I'll go through every single one of them, and then I'll end the video. So I'm going to do this very very quick because I haven't got much time. So I'm going to do the predictions very quick, the short match preview, and then the predictions and all that stuff. So yeah, I'm going to do this very very quickly. So if you guys enjoy this series so far, make sure you check out my channel to look at my previous shows, and I'm going to be doing this consistently from now to the end of the season. So if you don't want to miss any of my predictions and from this show, make sure you are subscribing first of all if you are new. If you are and then hit the bonus notifications so that you never ever miss out of these shows. Smash like if you enjoyed every single one of them, and make sure you share this video to everybody so that they can give their predictions down below. And also, what was I going to say now? I've forgotten. So yeah, make sure you do all those things, and then yeah, we'll just see what happens. So I've got my most points so far is 5 points. Of course, the last shot got 4 points, which was disappointing, and I haven't got any 3 points so far because I haven't got the prediction spot on so far. So my aim here is to get 3 points, whether it's one game or two games or something like that, and to get minimum of 30 points from now to the end of the season. So if I can achieve those things, then I'll be very, very happy boy. So yeah, that's my aim. So without further ado, let's quickly go through my predictions before I move on into the match preview for the Chelsea versus Leicester game. All right, so first we have is Southampton versus Manchester United. Of course, both teams won their first game. Southampton did against Leicester, and Man United did against Liverpool. Now, going into this game, Man United simply cannot get back to being a banter club anymore. Because imagine, yeah, you beat your rivals Liverpool at Old Trafford, but then you drop points against Southampton. That's simply not good enough. Simply not good enough. So yeah, Southampton, their last home game, yeah, was against Leeds United, and they drew. Yeah, they were 2-0 down and made it back to 2-2. But that was against Leeds. Yeah, this is Manchester United, so I think it's going to be difficult for them. But I don't think Man United are going to have a really great game. But I think they will dominate Southampton, and they'll just try and nick a scary win or just like a tight win or something like that. Obviously, I wanted to go 3-1, but the way I see Manchester United playing this season, like they seriously need to improve. But I think for this game, since this game is the early kickoff, I think I'm gonna have to go for a 2-1 Manchester United win. I mean, normally Man United don't have a really good record against Southampton at St Mary's because last season, or what was this? Yeah, last season they drew, which nobody would ever predicted that. So yeah, Man United don't have a really good record, but they like to put that stuff behind them and get back to winning ways and get the 3 points. So I don't think this will be a high scoring game for Man United like they did against Southampton 2 years ago when they beat them 9-0. So I'm going to go for a tight one. Since there's fans and since it's going to be a difficult game for Man United, I think they have to bounce back. Otherwise, they're just going to be back to Manchester United. That's what we need to call them, Manchester United. So yeah, I think they'll bounce back 2-3 points for them. And yeah, let's see what happens. So good luck for those two tomorrow. Right, Brentford up against West Everton. Um, Now this one, Everton, they seriously need to pick up their first one of the season because they've lost against Chelsea, they've lost against Aston Villa, and they drew to Nottingham Forest. So they got 1 point out of 9, which is not good enough. If Everton want to avoid relegation and maybe be in the top 10, they need to sign some players right now. And Frank Lampard needs to really do well for Everton. Otherwise, he could be the first manager in serious trouble and potentially get sacked, because Everton don't want to go down. They want to stay up and they want to at least be in European places. That's what Everton want to do. So, yeah, for me, yeah, going to Community Stadium ain't that easy for Brentford. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to go for 2-0 Brentford win because when Brentford faced Man United, they destroyed them. They destroyed Manchester United. I don't think they'll do that against Everton, but I know they'll completely play better football. I think Ivan Toney will get a goal and he'll be part of maybe one of the goals as well. So that's why I'm going to go for 2-0 Brentford. Obviously, if Everton do win, then I'll congratulate them. But I just don't see that happening because going to Community Stadium, their new stadium, ain't that easy because the atmosphere, the record against big teams and all that stuff. So, yeah, I just don't see that happening for Everton. I'm sorry. If you're an Everton fan, I'm sorry. But if you do win, then I'll congratulate you. But the way I see you play so far, I'm sorry. So that's why I have to go for Brentford win of 2-0. So, yeah, that's all I've got to say on that one. Right. Brighton against Leeds United. These two teams are still unbeaten. Of course, Brighton had won against uh what was it? They've won against Man United. They drew against Newcastle, and what the game they drew? Oh, no, what game they had? Let me just have a look very quickly. Uh, Brighton. Let me just have a look. Because sometimes I get things confused. Give me a moment. Brighton. What was their last game? What was their last game? No, not that. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, Brighton. Yeah, they've won against West Ham 2-0. So, yeah. And Leeds United, they destroyed Chelsea. And, yeah, nobody expect Leeds United to beat Chelsea. Not to me, but the way they played against Chelsea was really good. So, both of them have the same outcome, 2 wins and 1 draw. So, that's why this I'm going to go for draw. I'm going to go for 1-1 because these two have really surprised me this season. I'd have thought that maybe since Leeds United saw their best players, I thought they're going to go down. But Jesse March is doing far better than Marcel Bielsa because Marcel Bielsa was here. Leeds United would never play this good type of football against teams like Chelsea or maybe Wolves or something like that. But Jesse March is, so well done to him. And for Brighton, yeah, they do well under Graham Potter. So that's why when Newcastle and Brighton faced each other, I always went for a draw 2-2, but I went for 0-0. So yeah, this one is difficult to predict. So that's why I'm going to go for 1-1. I think maybe Leeds United will score first, but then I think Brighton will score, and then both teams will still go at it. But I don't think one team will get the 3 points. So that's why I'm going for a draw because these two have really surprised me, and they're really playing better football, and they're above Chelsea. So yeah, that's why I'm going to go for a draw on that one. So 1-1 is going to be my prediction. Now, the next one I'm going to do is Liverpool against Bournemouth. That's why I said to you at the beginning, I'm going to go to Chelsea versus Leicester City later on. So I'm going to quickly move on into Liverpool against Bournemouth. Now, Liverpool, yeah, they seriously need to get the win because they drawn against Fulham, which is not good enough. They draw against Crystal Palace, which is not good enough. And they've lost to Liverpool, which is so embarrassing, Like for me, yeah, I think losing Sadio Mane is a big loss because Sadio Mane was here. I believe here that he could be Fulham, Crystal Palace, and maybe Manchester United. When I look at Sadio Mane, he scored 3 goals here in 3 games for Bayern Munich so far. He has been their star player. So for me, I think losing Sadio Mane was a big loss for them. And this is what happens when you lose players. You can get into serious trouble. You know what I mean? So yeah, but I think here Darwin Nunes is still suspended because that Crystal Palace, so he won't play. He didn't play against Man United. He won't play against Bournemouth, and he won't play the next game, which I think is against Everton or I've forgotten. But yeah, he won't play the next game, so he's still suspended because he got a straight red card rather than two yellows, if you know what I mean. So I think Liverpool will be back, because Bournemouth, they've lost against City, they've lost against Arsenal, two of the best teams, and they know this will be a difficult game because going to Anfield ain't that easy because the atmosphere, the cup and something like that. So that's why in this game, I'm going to go for a Liverpool win of 3-0. If Liverpool continue to drop points, then I seriously worry if they're gonna finish in second place or maybe finish in the top four. Because Liverpool are a really good team. They're the second best team in England. But if they fail to make the top four and challenge for the title, they're in serious trouble. Serious trouble. So that's why for me, yeah, I'm gonna go for a Liverpool win of 3-0. I think Firmino might score. I think the front three might score for Liverpool. The likes of Luis Diaz, maybe Firmino and Mo Salah. I think the front three will score for Liverpool, and I think they need to get the 3 points. Otherwise, they're in serious trouble. Serious trouble. So 3-0 to Liverpool is going to be my prediction. Right, Manchester City against Crystal Palace. Now, I wanted to watch that game, but since that game is the same time as Chelsea, unfortunately, I won't be able to watch it. But I will look at the results so that I can give you guys the reaction and who scored and all that stuff. So this game, yeah, I think Palace here could shock City, because even though City signed early in Holland, yeah, when Crystal when I predicted Liverpool versus Crystal Palace, I'm for 3-0 Liverpool win. But Crystal Palace, yeah, they did well to deserve a point. Of course, they'll be disappointed not to get the win, but they did well to get a point. And for me, yeah, remember last season, yeah, that Crystal Palace went to the Etihad to beat them 2-0. And when Man City went to Selhurst Park, they had so many chances, but Crystal Palace didn't want City to score, and they were the first team ever in that season, yeah, to not make Man City score against Crystal Palace. So I think Man City will score against Crystal Palace, but I can see a draw. I can see 1-1. I think I think Man City will score first because you all know that going to the Etihad ain't that easy, and But then I think Zaha will score for Crystal Palace because Zaha, yeah, is looking like Crystal Palace's best player on the left hand side of that attacking three. So yeah, I think Zaha will cause Man City problems, especially their defense. So that's why I'm going to go for a draw. Obviously, I wanted to go for like a City win of 2-1, but I can see a draw because Crystal Palace here will definitely surprise me. The likes of Newcastle and maybe Leeds and maybe Brighton as well. So yeah, I'm gonna go for a draw on this one. If City do win, then well done to them. But I think Crystal Palace will not get beaten like 4-0 or 5-0, something like that. No, 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 no. So that's I'm gonna go for a draw 1-1 on that one. Then moving on into the London Derby, Arsenal up against Fulham. Now, this game, I'm going to go for a 2-1 Arsenal win. Now, I wanted to go for a draw, but I'm thinking to myself, you know what, yeah, Arsenal play really good football. And Gabriel Jesus is the summer signing of the season, is the best summer signing ever this season. No doubt about it. So that's what I'm going to go for 2-1. I think Fulham, yeah, they really impressed me this season. If Mitrovic can continue to score goals for Fulham, I'm not saying he will score 43 goals, but if he can continue to score goals for Fulham, I believe Fulham will stay up. And I definitely think they will stay up because they impressed me against Liverpool. They should have won against Wolves if Mitrovic would have scored that penalty. And they've won against Brentford, which is a really, really good game to watch. They were 2-0 up, then they could see two goals, but Mitrovic scored the late minute to make it 3-2. So Fulham really impressed me. So yeah, but going to the Emirates Stadium ain't that easy because when Leicester City went there, they got battered and destroyed by Arsenal because they conceded 4 goals. Even though Leicester City scored 2 goals, they couldn't manage to beat Arsenal. So, but I think Fulham would play better football than Leicester City against Arsenal. I think Fulham will go at it, but I think Arsenal would just nick a win because they're the team, yeah, that I think will definitely finish in the top four. I don't think they'll win the league 100%, but they'll definitely finish in the top four, and maybe, just maybe, they'll win the trophy. Obviously, I don't want to say that as a Chelsea fan, but I've got to be honest. I've really got to be honest. So I see Arsenal nicking a win of 2-1. If Fulham get a draw, this result against Arsenal, then yeah, I mean, then I will be disappointed that they didn't go for a draw. But I just don't see that happening. Arsenal will get the 3 points. I think they'll still be unbeaten. I think they'll still be unbeaten. So yeah, 2-1 to Arsenal is going to be my prediction. Then moving on into Sunday's games, Aston Villa against West Ham United. West Ham, they seriously in deep trouble because 3 losses so far. I mean, I would have thought that they're the team, yeah, that maybe they're finishing the top six. But seriously, man, they really starting to worry me. They really starting to worry me. You know, if West Ham don't win, could they be the team that can get relegated? And no, and none of us would ever predict that. Seriously, West Ham needs to get a win, but going to Villa Park ain't that easy because even though Aston Villa lost their last game, which was against Crystal Palace, you know, they beat Bolton in the League Cup this week in round two. So yeah, I think Villa fans will be up for this. If Aston Villa don't win, they're also in trouble, and so is Steven Gerrard. So for this game, obviously I went for West Ham win last time and it didn't work. So unfortunately, West Ham fans, I'm sorry to say this one, I have to go for 2-1 Aston Villa. I have to go for 2-1. Like I said, if West Ham United do win, then I will congratulate you. But the way I see you guys performing and these results, unfortunately, I have to go for an Aston Villa win of 2-1. So unfortunately, that's going to be my prediction. So yeah, but obviously, good luck to those teams on Sunday. And yeah, we're just gonna have to wait and see. So the next game, of course, is Wolves against Newcastle United. Now, of course, what was Wolves' last game? Hold on. What was Wolves' last game? Let me just have a look. Uh, did Wolves win or not? Let me just have a look. Their last game was against Tottenham, which they've lost. Yeah. So yeah, Wolves so far. They've lost against Leeds. They've drew. Yeah, Leeds. So I mean, sorry, Wolves so far haven't won a game. They've only got 1 point out of 9. So Wolves, yeah, they seriously need to bounce back. They seriously need to bounce back. Whereas for Newcastle, yeah, they will be unlucky not to get a win because you're 3-1 up and then you're allowed City to score 2 goals to make it 3-3. But that game, yeah, was the game of the season so far because going to St James Park ain't that easy, and that's why I went for a 2-1 Manchester City win because I would have thought that yeah, you know what, they're going to struggle against Newcastle, but I think they'll get the win. But Newcastle, yeah, they really impressed me. I mean, could they be the team yeah that could finish in the top six? Could they be part of the top six? Maybe the top seven. It could happen. It could happen. So for this game, I see a Newcastle win of 2-0. I think they really pressed me against Manchester City. They are lucky not to at least get 3 points, but a draw against City, the champions last season, is a good result for them. So yeah, 2-0 to Newcastle United is going to be my prediction. Obviously, Wolves need to get the 3 points, but I don't see that against Newcastle. I really don't see that. So that's why I'm going to go for a 2-0 Newcastle United win. All right, the last and not least, is Nottingham Forest against Tottenham Hotspur. Now, like I said against West Ham again, so Nottingham Forest against West Ham, going to the City Ground ain't that easy. And I know Nottingham Forest will be singing to the Spurs fans, "Champions of Europe, you'll never sing that." And we have to also, yeah, the Nottingham Forest ain't a small club. They're a big club because they've won 2 European Cups here and during the 1970s. They've won 2 of them. Whereas for Spurs, they've won none. So for me, yeah, I think Nottingham Forest will be up for this. Now I don't know what to predict. The thing is, will Nottingham Forest keep a clean sheet? Because obviously, I went another person's channel went for 1-0. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna go for 2-1 Nottingham Forest. I changed my mind. I wanted to go for 1-0, but for me, I think Tottenham Hotspur will score, but I think Nottingham Forest will get the 3 points because they did well against West Ham, even though West Ham dominated them. And yeah, so I think Nottingham Forest will be up for this, and I'm gonna go for a 2-1 Nottingham Forest win on Sunday, and it's as part of a Super Sunday. It's the game of the weekend, game of the weekend. So that's why I'm looking forward to this one because Nottingham Forest are back in the Premier League and they want to stay up for next season. So, and I believe they will do that. So 2-1 Nottingham Forest is going to be my prediction. All right, before before I go to the Chelsea prediction, let me just quickly do a match preview. So, yeah, Chelsea got destroyed by Leeds United. For this game, I think Thomas Tuchel should change the formation instead of a 3-4-2-1. I believe that Chelsea or him and the ball should go for like a 4-3-3. And obviously, we heard the news that Bamian to Chelsea is coming very, very soon. Since yesterday, he travelled to London and is going to be signing for Chelsea over the next couple of games, which is really good. The big question is, like Romelu Lukaku, can Thomas Tuchel get the best out of him? Because we also what happened to Lukaku. I think it's the tactics that Lukaku said, but it's also the performance of him. Could Bamian be the same thing? Let's hope not. Because the only way I want to see Chelsea, the only way my expectations for Chelsea is to at least close the gap on City and Liverpool and win a trophy. Simple as that. I don't choose to finish third or fourth and go 19 or 20 points behind City and Liverpool. No. If we can go like maybe 3 points or maybe 2 points behind them, then that would be fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And that would be top four secured 100%. But if we go, if I see the same with Chelsea as last season, then we're done. We're absolutely done. So yeah, for Leicester City, yeah, they're in serious trouble. And Brendan Rodgers here could be sacked here if Leicester City don't get the 3 points in that game. So yeah, and also Wesley Fofana and also Yuri Timners is looking like to leave the club. So that's why for me, yeah, and also Cassius Michael left for Leicester City as well. So for this game, I'm hoping Chelsea will bounce back, but I'm going to go for 2-1. I don't see Chelsea score more than 2 goals. I don't see that happening because we ain't got that clear up top. We ain't got that. We're still struggling, but for strikers, of course, you do sign the Bamiyang, but can we get the best out of him? That's the big question. So that's why I'm going to go for 2-1 Chelsea. In terms of the lineup here, I know Thomas Tuchel is going to go for 3-4-2-1, but for me, I think Thomas Tuchel should use a 4-3-3, and my 4-3-3 is going to be this. I think Kepa should start. The way I see Mendy make those mistakes, I never want to see him do that against Leicester. So for me, yeah, let's hope that Kepa could show Mendy how you keep a clean sheet and how you not make mistakes. So for me, Kepa starts in goal. Left back, I'm going to put in Ben Chilwell because since Koulibaly is out and since Wesley Fofana hasn't been signed for Chelsea yet, I'm going to put Ben Chilwell as the left back. I'm going to put both Kukurea and Thiago Silva as the two centre backs. Then right back, I'm going to put in Reece James or maybe Aspilicueta if he's available. And also, let me not forget, Kovacic is fit enough, but I don't see him start this game against Leicester City. I would rest him, then maybe the next game, maybe I'll start him. That's all I've got to say. So Kovacic deserves a rest. And also, we've heard that N'Golo Kante is going to be out for a month, so it's really sad to see. But I wish N'Golo Kante speed recovery, and let's hope he's back for your mom. I'm just speaking to my friend. Yeah, I will open. Yeah, don't worry. Okay, I'll be. Hold on, hold on. I'm gonna talk to you later. Let me. Sorry about that. A bit of disturbance, but yeah, from my mum. But yeah, like I was saying, for right back, it's either Reece James or Aspilicueta if he's fit enough. Because I don't think that he can do well as the right wing back, but sometimes he can just go past players. So I think Reece James is right back, or maybe Aspilicueta. Either one of those two will work. Then the midfield three on the left hand side has got to be Mason Mount. Like Mason Mount here could never ever be part of that front three because sometimes he could just not score, keep on losing the ball, and just frustrate the players. So I'm sorry. Mason Mount here on the left hand side of the central midfielder. On the right, Conor Gallagher. Conor Gallagher. Because I remember he played that position against Palace and he was phenomenal on that side. Yeah. You cannot ever put him as the number 8 alongside Jorginho and all that stuff. I'm sorry, man, it doesn't work. You can see it didn't work against Leeds. So I think here that Conor Gallagher on the right hand side works for me. It works for me. So him and on the middle, sorry about that. Let me just turn this off. in the middle, I think Billy Gilmore deserves the chance. I think he deserves the chance because I know we're looking for a CDM, but I think Billy Gilmore has been training enough, has been proved to Thomas Tuchel that he could start games for Chelsea. So I think Billy Gilmore for me, yeah, deserves to start as a CDM because we all seen what happened against Everton and against Liverpool in both at Stamford Bridge. Man of the matches. Yeah, man of the match. And let's not forget, we kept a clean sheet as well. So I think for him, yeah, he deserves to start and he deserves to be in the middle of that midfield, if you know what I mean. So he goes on the midfield three. Then in terms of the front three, gosh, all right. In terms of the front three, Ziyech is going, Pulisic is going as well. But for me, yeah, in terms of the front three, I would drop Kai Havertz on the bench because he has been really good for Chelsea. I know he can improve for Chelsea next season, but I don't see that happening. I really don't. So yeah, in terms of the front three, I'm gonna it may sound strange, but I'm going to put in probably Pulisic on the left, Ziyech on the right, and Son up top. Because when he played in that position on the Lampard, he was our best player, especially for club and American. And the same thing goes for Ziyech. Yeah, the same thing goes for Ziyech on the Lampard on that right wing. He was magical when we signed him on the right hand side because he could do free kicks, on his magical boots. He can just do anything. So I think on the right hand side for him works. Yeah. And Sterling, well, Aubameyang is not going to be there for Chelsea against Leicester, so it's only Sterling that could be up top. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I think for me, yeah, that 4-3-3, I want to see that tomorrow, but I don't think it will happen. I think he'll go for 3-4-2-1. So yeah, so he's still going to stick by it. So let's see if it works. But if it doesn't, then it proves that he needs to change the formation if we want to beat Leicester City and perhaps pepper them. Probably like 2-0, 3-0. That's what I've got to say on this one. So yeah, let's don't know marks here. They have really scored, but hold on. All right, that's you probably saw if you had to hear that, but yeah. Anyway, yeah. So let's see what happens. I'm confident, but I'm a bit scared. But let's see what happens. So yeah, it's gonna be my predictions for this week. So let me go through them one more time. So the first one I've gone for a Man United win of 2-1. The next game I've gone for a Brentford win of 2-0. I've gone for a 1-1 draw between Brighton and Leeds. The next one, Chelsea against Leicester, I've gone for a Chelsea win of 2-1. Then the next one I've gone for a Liverpool win of 3-0 against Bournemouth. Then I've gone for a 1-1 draw between Manchester City and Palace. Then I've gone for a London derby win for Arsenal against Fulham 2-1. Then Sunday's games I've gone for an Aston Villa win of 2-1. Then I've Wolves against Newcastle. I've gone for a Newcastle win of 2-0. And last but not least, I've gone for a Nottingham Forest win of 2-1 against Tottenham. So that is all my Premier predictions for this week. Let me know in the comments down below whether you agree or disagree, and what's your predictions for this week's game week 4. Let me also know in the comments down below. So yeah, that is it. That is the end of this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget, if you are new, hit the subscribe button below. Smash a like if you enjoyed this prediction show. Make sure you keep up to date because every Friday I do the predictions. Then on every Tuesday I'll go through them. But this time it's going to be different. Um, when the Nottingham Forest vs Tottenham game is finished, I'll be going through my predictions. Then for game week 4. Then on Monday, I'm going to go through my Premier Edition on match day 5 because they are midweek games. And the reason why it starts early is because the FIFA World Cup that's happening in about 3 months' time. So, yeah, so it's normally on Tuesday that I do this, but it's going to be on Sunday when the Nottingham Forest vs Chelsea game. Then that's why I'm going to go through my predictions, see how many points I got. So yeah, so make sure you stay tuned for that one. Tomorrow there's going to be a live watch along and a match reaction, so make sure you don't miss any of those. And yeah, we'll see what happens. Hopefully Chelsea can get the win, and good luck to the rest of let's hope your team can play well and possibly get the 3 points. That's basically it for now. So thank you guys so much for watching. Look after yourselves, take care, and as always, up the Blues.